Okay, so I'm going to be explaining the Phillips curve in the short run and the long run. So I'm going to be doing this by using my notes here. Over here we can see the Phillips curve in the short run. So for some reason, most likely an expansionary monetary policy, the aggregate demand is shifted to the right. And with that we can see an increase in output and an increase in price level. And looking at the rates on the side, we can actually look deeper into this by using the Phillips curve, which shows the relationship between inflation rate and unemployment rate. So we took those rates from the graph on the left, the short run Phillips curve, the aggregate demand curve, and then we put it on the Phillips curve on the right with those two percentages, and you can actually see the negative relationship between unemployment and inflation. So as unemployment goes up, inflation rate goes down, and vice versa. And then moving on to the long run Phillips curve, we can actually see that in the long run, on the aggregate demand graph on the left, the short run aggregate supply is going to eventually move back to the long run aggregate supply, because prices are sticky and wages are sticky, and overall, over time in the long run, it's not actually going to change the output. It's just going to leave an increase in price level. And then from that, we can also look at the Phillips curve, and we copied what we had from above, as you can see. But then we also see that with the long run, we come back to a new equilibrium, back to our natural unemployment level, which means in the long run, there actually is no relationship between inflation rate and unemployment, as it's a vertical line. And this area on the vertical line is actually called, it's abbreviated as NAIRU, and that is the non-accelerating inflation rate of unemployment. Moving on, this is on the left, you can see the deflationary trap as aggregate demand shifts to the left. People find themselves in even more debt, and then this cycle continues, and it continues to move to the left. And then on the right here, when the short run aggregate supply is shifted left, that means that prices increase and output decreases. And this is what we call stagflation, because there's two issues. And an example of this is the Oil Embargo Act. Which the OPEC imposed an oil embargo against the U.S., and it banned petroleum exports to the targeted nations, which introduced cuts in oil production. And that just shows what's important about stagflation is that it shows it's a hard trade-off for the Federal Reserve on deciding which policy they want to use, because one way or another, they're going to have high employment or high inflation rate.